Guidance, also known as YEMIG, for this fine Saturday. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist. Here with some words of wisdom to get us rolling. And I love this card. I know you hear me say that a lot, but I love this card because it talks about one of the things that I have said for years and believe wholeheartedly that if we all heeded this piece of advice, we'd be so much happier. So our card today comes from, good morning to whomever just joined. Glad you're here. Our card comes from the Notes from the Universe on Abundance deck by Mike Dooley. I have to figure out if Restream has a flip screen the same way Facebook does. But today's going to be some time researching some of the things I don't know about this platform. We'll learn as we go. And I'm hoping that actually, welcome to whomever else just joined. I'm hoping that actually encourages all of you to try things. Try things before you even know what you're doing. Be willing to make mistakes. Be willing to do face plants. Be willing to look silly or uneducated in front of others in the interest of moving things forward. All right. So, Notes from the Universe on Abundance by Mike Dooley. And here is our card. Very pretty waterfall. It's interesting to note the colors are different on here than they are on my Facebook Live. So I may have to see if I can tweak the colors also. But what I'd like you to do with this message that is forthcoming is just take some nice deep breaths. Let them go. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And doing this often during the day. I can't overstate how important breathing deeply is. And most of us don't do it. We're these shallow chest breathers. Get some air in there. And again, if you feel lightheaded, it means that during the course of the day, you really aren't breathing deeply enough. So practice filling up your lungs. Here is our card. Just listen with the intuitive part of yourself that is receptive to this message, knows how it fits for you and how it needs to be integrated into your life. You wondering how would be as silly as me wondering why. I don't, and neither should you. I mean, let's not be that crazy. The universe. So you wondering how would be as silly as me wondering why. And what I always tell people is, how is not your problem? How is the universe's problem? Spirit, God, however you frame up that power greater than ourselves, we don't have to worry about the hows. When we set our intention, this is what I'm wanting, needing, etc. This is what I hope for. And we focus on why do I want this? All manner of things begin to move. The universe takes care of the how. We have to pay attention to the why. When our why, what I also say is when our why is big enough, the hows take care of themselves in crazy ways. So you say, this isn't working for me. I wonder how that's going to work out. As my friend Lynn Schustroy says, I wonder how that's going to work out, with great expectation and glee, because she knows it's going to work out and things come her way to work it out. All right. Same for all of us. And if you're one of those people who believes, well, that works for everybody else, but not for me, time to start challenging that belief. That belief is going to keep you stuck. Argue for your limitations. You get to keep them. You get to keep them. All right. We need to be ready to receive all manner of good. Open up to your good. Be ready to receive your good. I am worthy of good. And you don't have to do anything to be worthy. I think a lot of us have gotten misguided messages from certain faiths about how we have to be, that we came to this planet with, what do you want to call that? Original sin. That's what it was called in the faith I was raised in. Original sin. And there's a bishop from the Episcopal Church up here who was an amazing forward-thinking guy. And he says, nope, original blessing. We came with original blessing. So we don't have to do to earn our place in worthiness. We simply are worthy because we exist. All right? So, and I know for a lot of us, it's going to be hard to wrap our brains around that. Practice. I am worthy simply because I exist. I am worthy simply because I exist. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. All right? Again, though, letting go of the how. And we often get wound up in the hows. How's this going to work out? I can't see any way for this to get better. Blah, 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 blah. Let go of how. Why do you want it to work out? Why do you want it to be the way you'd like it to be? And I'm reading this amazing book. It's called The Book You Were Born to Write, and by Kelly, I'm going to blank on her last name. Anyway, the gist of it is that we all have a book in us. And if we choose to write it, one of the exercises she had us go through was looking at our motivations for doing so. Because you need to have strong enough motivations to get you over the humps that you're going to bump into in the process. How many people start things and don't finish them? And yes, for some of them, it's because as they've started it, they realize this really isn't for me. But for other people, they've started it and they go, this is too hard. I can't do this. That's where that motivation piece comes in. We must have worked through our motivations ahead of time, or at least be able to do it in that moment so that we've got enough steam to keep going. If you're doing something, and I always talk about this also, if you're doing something to win, that's a whole different ball of wax than you're doing something not to lose. Okay? And win doesn't have to be in that competitive sense. It can be in that I set a goal here and I completed it, or I made a commitment to myself and I kept it. It can be win in those senses also, as opposed to I really don't want anybody to say I quit, so I have to keep going, or I don't want to feel bad about myself, so I have to keep going. Have to, note that have to. So when we can create our whys in terms of winning kinds of philosophy. I made a commitment to myself and I'm going to keep it. We come out head and shoulders ahead of where we'll be if we're playing not to lose. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to look like I quit, etc., etc. Because that one, the I don't want to look like I quit thing, often keeps people from even starting. That's not so hot. Not so hot. So let's think about it right now. I want you to take a couple nice deep breaths again. I want you to allow yourself to travel to that still inner place within you. That place where your true self exists. Separate from all the have-tos and musts and edicts from others, just to the true self. Warts and all, as my friend Deb says. And in that still inner place, first of all, let's notice, where is that in your body? Does it sit in your mind? Does it sit in your heart? Does it sit in your throat? Does it sit in your hands? Where's your still inner place? Maybe it's in your power center. Maybe it's in your belly, down lower. Wherever it resides. And you may find it moves around when you visit it. Oh, this time it's in my heart. Oh, that time it's in my solar plexus. That's okay too. And I want you to just quietly check in without any limitations, without any yeah buts or what ifs. What is it that I really want right now? And when I did this exercise the other day, I actually went through a couple of things before I landed on the one that went ping. What is it I really want right now? And now I want you to ask, and why do I want it? Go through that period of discernment looking at your whys. And you're probably going to notice that among the whys are some that really aren't so hot. Because someone else wants it for me, or because someone told me I should, or because I think I ought to. None of those are the true whys. So you can just let those go on the breath. Now check in again. What are the underlying whys? The whys with a capital W. The ones that really do put wind in your sails, spring in your step, sparkle in your eye. Those are the whys you want to breathe into. So right now, you're going to breathe in and exhale this energy into those whys. Ventilating it, as Pema Chodron says. Expanding it, making it juicier, however you want to look at it. Keep breathing. Filling it up. Being ready to embrace those whys. These are your whys. Again, capital W. Good. And now I want you to take one more step with this. I want you to make a commitment that you're going to focus on these whys and this want at least a couple times a day. And you don't necessarily have to do big things, but do some little things. It might be doing some searching on the internet to find some answers to things that you're looking at. I have one of those to do for myself today. But it might be something, just a little step forward with regard to that want that you have and those whys as to why you want it. Moving it forward just a little bit. So one more nice deep breath in. Let it go. And I'm going to read the card to you one more time. Again, Mike Dooley from Notes from the Universe on Abundance. You wondering how would be as silly as me wondering why. I don't, and neither should you. I mean, let's not be that crazy. The universe. So have an awesome day. Enjoy your whys. Tickle your whys a little bit. Let's see what comes up. If you have any comments, put them in the feed and I will get back to you. I'm still figuring out how to use this platform, but eventually I'll have it down pat and we'll get all kinds of communication going between me and you. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.